Hey, Mark,
Oh, is this serious?
how things?
Welcome to the Burger Vintage Shop Final Store. Lots of dope records, vintage stuff on sale.
How long you had a passion for music?
I just grew up in a very musical household. I used to play clarinet. A lot of people don't know that. In terms of being an artist, definitely came in my teenage years. When I was 15, a mutual friend introduced me to a producer named Ken Holden. He was working on a Marshall Montano studio.
In my teenage years, I knew you as Mark Hardy. So how come you changed into Marcus Braveboy?
So it's a real funny circus. So a lot of people don't know I studied law. So I'm not a lawyer, but I have a LLB from the University of London. And you know, law is a very rigid and a strict profession. I was told very early in my career that, you know, if it is that you're going to be an attorney and you want it to be an artist, you kind of have to have two different names. So Mark is short for Marcus, and Hardy means strong or resilient, which is kind of like, you know, you're brave. I became Mark Hardy. Why I stopped using Mark Hardy? My real name Braveboy, the older I got, the more I realized how powerful of a name it is.
What influenced you to become an artist?
My father was a television producer, also Calypsonian musician as well. I want to say 2-3 years old, I writing Calypsos, going to kindergarten, and, you know, extemporing and that kind of stuff.
Besides soca, what's your favorite genre?
I mean, I love hip hop and dancehall. I would say those are my most influential genres growing up as a teenager. I think hip hop just influenced the world, you know, in terms of style, lingo, everything, culture. So yeah, for sure, hip hop and dancehall.
Who are your top 3 favorite artists of all time?
I would definitely say, even though they're a group, Treason from Trinidad and Tobago, JV for sure, and Lil Wayne.
So out of all 3 of them, which one gives you the biggest inspiration?
Jay-Z for sure. I think he really inspired me as an entrepreneur. I think, you know, like growing up seeing somebody who is a rapper, you know, like having their own clothing line. He was on that level, having his own sneaker, and he owns his own streaming platform. He owns sports teams. He has his own agency, Rock Nation Sports. Jay-Z to me, he's the epitome of that for our generation.
What is one thing that you would change in the industry for new artists?
Information is out there now that you could go on YouTube and you learn about all aspects of the industry. Awareness about like publishing, distribution, and different sides of the industry. I wish that we had more education in terms of our local music industry.
This new song that you dropped called Jump.
During the pandemic, one of my friends from Trinidad, who was a Zumba instructor, big up Bella, she heard the kind of music I was doing. So I started to experiment with Latin music and Caribbean music. She was like, the music is perfect for Zumba. And I kind of networked my way into getting like songs signed to Zumba. So Zumba actually has a record label. So I have a few songs signed to Zumba now. And this song Jump is the biggest of all of them. It is on their mega mix. They have compilations, 116. And basically, when you have a song on that compilation, all the instructors across the world, and it's like 180 countries, and like 20 million instructors after the dances to the songs on our album. So every day I get in tagged from whether it's India or Philippines or Australia or Venezuela, Colombia, Brazil. So I would say it went viral within that world. But if you're not within that world, you're already just like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
But I think that's being, you know, that maybe that's me living up to my name of Braveboy. I'm not afraid to go into different worlds and explore. But I like the idea that I'm making music for fitness classes. I'm encouraging people to incorporate a healthier lifestyle and that. And the more I got into talking to people in the world of Zumba is actually like therapy for a lot of people, especially women.
If you were not into music, like what would be another profession?
The automatic answer would be entertainment. But a lot of people don't know I actually have my own digital marketing agency called I Know Everybody Consulting Limited. So, you know, I probably am like first or second person to have their own social media agency. I've been doing that for like the past 15 years, right? And I love marketing. I really love branding, and I love helping people with branding and marketing too. I also love fashion. I think that's something about me. I love doing different things. And I think I get excited every day that I could do music for part of my day. I could have clients with social media for part of my day. You know, I might do a contract for part of my day. By the Berg for part of my day.
You know, hip hop was something that you were doing. Do you think it'll elevate in Trinidad?
I love hip hop so much. As much as I may not sing hip hop again. Hip hop to me is not just about the music. It's about the swag, the lifestyle, the fashion, the lingo. I grew up, you know, like heavily influenced by hip hop. For some reason, Trinidad hip hop never took off. Trinidad and Zest, or Trinidad in particular, I think is what local hip hop should have been, but dancehall is just more familiar. Like we live in a niche within a niche, right? Because Trinidad is a small island, so hip hop is real underground in a country that's already so small. So Chromatics, Nebula 868, Mark Hardy and Younger, Jimmy October, J Naj, Inzi, etc., etc. Right? But it's kind of hard, and then I feel like the diaspora, as much as they could appreciate local hip hop, it's not enough to form a movement, like how Trinidad is. I just think it's a familiarity thing. Like this is just me thinking over the years about it. I feel like soca, reggae, dancehall are just easier genres for people to digest. And we tested it. I mean, Young Red and myself were in studio with Fabulous already. We were connected to a mixing engineer named Duro, big up Duro. He's worked with you name an artist from the early 2000s and he's mixed their record. Hip hop, for some reason, just has not connected as yet. But that doesn't mean that 5-10 years from now, some youth gonna come with Trinidad hip hop and get Grammys.
What were like 2 hard moments that you had to face?
Like, so a little background on me. I was always a kind of popular person, right? Like a popular guy, right? And I used to be on committees and like basically like a party. West Boy was a party person. And then I decided I wanted to rap. So I remember the first time I ever really performed to a lot of people was in a space called Woodford Cafe in Movie Top. And I had to open for a bunch of soca artists. And I just remember like performing and everybody just watching me like, if it's like, why you risking your reputation, you're already popular, you know, like, why are you doing this? So I think that was one where it's just like, I think for a few months I already thought about, you know, what am I doing? You know, people weren't very welcoming to me in the industry initially. As an artist, they were cool at me as a popular guy, but from the time they saw as an artist, they're like, what are you doing, you know? And then like, most recently, I got an opportunity to represent Trinidad and Tobago, a cultural exchange program. I would have gone to LA, New Orleans, New York, and Washington, D.C. Everything was set, but then like the political climates in America affects the world. And the changes in government and stuff basically ceased the program. I was so excited about it because it felt like, you know, all these years of grinding and hip hop in Trinidad, it was like, so I think I was a bit disappointed. I think that really affected me mentally.
During that moment where you felt like so disappointed, like how did you overcome it?
Tell you the truth, it was a bunch of things happening. Like that last year was a year where you went through a breakup. You're trying to get over the breakup by being productive and then like a bunch of opportunities came and then very soon after those opportunities got shut down. But I think for me, this is some good advice to just anybody. Like I started to practice gratitude. And I think if everybody does that, you know, mentally you'll be in a better place because we all have a lot to be grateful for. We have our health. And I think every day I think about what I have and I'm blessed with rather than what I do have.
What 2 best moments as an artist?
I would say for sure, a lot of people don't know, but I actually performed at Lollapalooza in Chicago. That was probably the biggest performance of my career. Big up Bad Royal. Performed, to over 10,000 people in Chicago, in Grand Park. And I would say myself, Young Rod, and Mevon, we won Viewers' Choice Award at the CUT Awards for Isa Trini with Jimmy October. And I think that was big for hip hop in Trinidad.
What do you recommend to your audience or anybody who have a passion for becoming a new artist in this industry?
I would say you had to love it because I'm gonna take off my sunglasses. Being an artist is one of the hardest jobs in the world. Do it for the right reasons, you know, like you're gonna have days where financially things not working out. It could affect your family life, it could affect your relationship, it could affect your friendships. You gotta really love this thing. No matter what, you could feel the most defeated on a day, but you could still write something because that makes you happy. You could still record a song because that makes you happy. Everything is a business, so you have to do it for money. But core of it is you have to really love it.
This is the CPatts Live Talks. Marcus Braveboy, Chris Patterson, bro. Thanks so much for your time.
One love, Chris. I love what you're doing. Keep it up.
Blessings, bro. Yeah. You know, since we have so much records here, let me go save that record for yourself.
I see we have the Jacksons here. What you all know about this?
Alright.
Reggae.
Let you go and check it out. Let you go check it out.